You know, I've been hearing certain things about a certain iPhone that's gonna come out pretty soon, if the rumors to be believed. And that iPhone is obviously the iPhone SE3, iPhone SE Plus, iPhone SE 5G, iPhone SE 2022. You know what I mean, it's pretty much the same iPhone. And you know, I was ready to make a script for this video, which I actually did, which is, by the way, on this iPad, which I cannot read because it serves for a temporary background. So a very nice job. But the funniest thing is that I don't need a script at all, because as I was going through the leaks and rumors on a daily basis, I realized very quickly one simple thing. Like, the only two upgrades we are getting to the upcoming iPhone SE model is literally A15 processor and 5G. And like, that's it. And I was thinking what to make of that, what to make of the new 2022 iPhone SE. Because on one hand, like, this design, the home button iPhone SE2 design is like 157 years old. Like, seriously, it was outdated before World War One. So like, is it really cool to ship that iPhone right now? But then I thought, like, there are people who just want a basic iPhone, who want some introduction to the iOS experience, who want to see how's the iMessage doing, how's the FaceTime, how's the overall navigation and usage of iPhone, meaning iPhone SE, meaning iOS. And like, as the more I think about it, you know, I played even with my old iPhone 7 for a while just to see how it is, and the experience is totally different, but it's still an iPhone. It's still gonna have that premium Apple feel. It's still gonna have iOS. It's still gonna be very reliable, updated literally forever. It's gonna probably have some decent camera. I mean, I don't expect any big upgrades here, but because of that A15 processor, I suppose the image processing of that camera is gonna be better. But by the way, throwing night mode to the iPhone SE in the year of 2022 and 2023 would be really nice, Apple. So, you know, just some night mode at least, please. Yeah, the speed is gonna be nice in this phone, and overall it's gonna be a very reliable phone with better connectivity, but it's still gonna have the same problems that the original, meaning the 2020, not necessarily the original, but the 2020 iPhone SE had, which is the battery life. It's still gonna be poor, I guess. It's still gonna have very outdated design, as well as outdated navigation system, as well as that single lens camera system. So the upgrades that we needed are kind of not there. But on the other hand, the things that were strong about iPhone SE are now about to get stronger, meaning like the performance, very decent price for Apple for an iPhone. So it's hard to make up my mind about that. But what I can tell is that I wouldn't expect something like extraordinary in the way that we are gonna get iPhone 13 mini in the form of iPhone SE for the price of iPhone SE. Hey, this is the iPhone SE lineup. And because of that, we gotta realize that it always pretty much means old design with the newer parts. And you know, this is quite the exact opposite what some of the competitors are doing, since like, when you see a cheaper phone, cheaper, 400 bucks, I know if that's that cheap, but whatever. If you see a cheaper device, you're like, okay, I can expect fairly decent display, probably some form of OLED, rather newer design, but the performance is gonna be crappy, the experience may not be perfect, the updates may not be that nicely done. But the iPhone SE is the exact opposite. You get outdated body, you get outdated screen, but you get a beast performance, as well as that years of updates. So like, it's kind of the different path Apple is taking. An interesting one, to be sure. It's really hard to make up my mind about this iPhone SE, because like, again, I'm still not sure about this old design, old navigation system, and the way it's gonna be used, because right now we are in a different era. You know, we have multiple cameras, we have OLED displays, high refresh rates, batteries that can really last a long time. Even the iPhone 12, like fairly modern smartphone, you know, not the biggest battery capacity, but still can last fairly reasonable amount of time. Not even mentioning the 13 series. So like, hard to make up my mind about iPhone SE, but I guess if you want that better connectivity with 5G, if you want to future-proof yourself, if you want to get something more of a reasonable price, and that needs to be Apple, then I guess the iPhone SE will be an option. I'm also curious if they are gonna add something extra, because let's face it, the A15 processor as well as the 5G, that's not that much when it comes to the upgrade, you know, after 2 years, especially that, again, this doesn't solve the problems that the original iPhone SE had, like when it comes to, again, the older body, the battery life and stuff like that. So I'm really curious how they are gonna take this model, how they are gonna make it. Really curious to see that. Again, I'm repeating that word again, but it's a fairly confusing phone, to be honest. You know, you get a cheaper price, but on one hand, very premium specification, but in this very old archaic body. And I'm curious how it's gonna work. Make sure to let me know, like, if you're excited about this phone or not necessarily, because, you know, I definitely wanna see that. I definitely wanna see the reception, how people are gonna perceive this device, you know, with this form of design, navigation in the year of 2022. But on the other hand, we cannot forget that this is still an iPhone that offers all of the iOS experience, years of updates, terrific performance, and Apple support, you know, Apple world in that. So yeah, really curious how it's gonna turn out. If you were here for the leaks and rumors, again, not the biggest upgrade, just the pretty much minor spec bumps. Actually not that minor, but when it comes to the overall bigger picture of usage experience, it's pretty minor. If we're expecting something more with the iPhone SE, I guess again we have to wait maybe 2 years until we get that iPhone XR SE body combination. That's gonna be pretty interesting, although that design will still be outdated. But yeah, this is what iPhone SE is about. Older design with the best specs.